Start recording. I'll have to figure out Twitch chat after the race. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and off we go. Okay, yeah, I'll have to address that after the fact. $5. If I'd known that was happening, I would have fiddled with it before the race started. Oh well. Yeah, that's one thing I couldn't exactly test not live. No matter, I should be able to figure that out. I can just clone a copy of the Twitch chat on the 16:9 aspect ratio game setup. Oh, single arrow. Wow. We're doing so well. Okay. I'm gonna pull the tree out here and see what I get. Single pull. Oh, look at that. Bombs are useful. Okay. I have those bombs. Save and quit. Now let's go to the sanctuary. Just 4 bombs is not going to cut it for me. Map. 4 bombs, though, will enable me to actually do some shit, in Kakariko. We'll check the bonk rocks. Flippers! Well, that is an interesting find. We don't need to do fake flippers, but I will still activate water walking. As it is still faster to run across the surface of the water than it is to swim. Kill you, not get anything, but I'll get 4 more bombs. I may wind up needing to use these bombs in Mini Moldworm Cave. You never know. Magic? Okay. A little bit of magic from the crab. Just a heart piece up on the ledge. I don't need to worry about that. Not necessarily writing off Aga altogether. Seems unlikely I'll have to kill him, though. Oh! How dare you? Alright, well there's all my magic filled up. And up here we have $20, which I will grab because I'm still poor. Let's see what the thieves have in their hideout. Thieves have bombs. Well, alright. Excuse you? That shouldn't have hit me. Well, it is what it is. What's the map check? All crystals. Hera is red. Okay. Yeah, second week in a row that there's, Twitch problems. Or you know what, I can't even say this is a Twitch problem. This is 100% no BS problem. Bombs. Heart piece. $20. Bow. Okay. We like getting the bow. That means we're actually armed now. $20. Okay, we have enough money for bottle vendor. We'll definitely be touching base with him after I check the well. Getting the bow means that I can actually go finish Eastern Palace. Oh, blue mail. Oh god, she turns yellow. 20 bucks. I should probably talk about... Hey, welcome on in. Hope you're having a good night. Yes, I should probably mention what my sprite is. This is a girl version of a Shy Guy from Mario. Hey. Alright. Bottle vendor head crap. Yes, the sprite is affectionately referred to as Shy Gal. I figure those masks are spooky enough. That probably works. She is. $1. I just took the old lady's life savings. Yeah, honestly, a mask is a highly underrated accessory. Oh, boomerang. Well, that's nice, at least. That can be used as a weapon. I know back when I briefly dipped my toes into the game, dollar, I don't want that. The game Ragnarok Online. I played a mage, and I got my hand on a mask that was like a smiley face. And despite the fact that it wasn't a very good item, I still wore it all the time. And somebody in our, like, whatever that game's equivalent of guilds was like making form signatures for everybody in the group. And I was like, "You've left out my signature mask, though." And they're like, "Fine, here we go." And then they just, like, they redid it, except it was just the character from, like, the waist down. And I'm like, perfect. Like, they thought they were being, you know, snarky dickish, and I was like, it works. I'm gonna do the South Shore checks, because I don't have a whole lot of arrows. I don't have a weapon other than this boomerang. Well, I have the bow, but I only have 6 shots with it right now. Hook shot. Okay, that counts as a weapon. A mini Moldorm cave will be completely easy now. Hookshot kills those guys in 1 hit. And the item outside is a heart piece, which I don't need, but I'll grab, because it's nice to have. Hey, what's my stun prize? 5 arrows. Ugh. No, don't touch me. Okay. God. Okay. Excuse you? No, that hit was legit. Okay. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. The cape. Heart. Bloomerang. I now have all 3 stunning items. Bloomerang, red boomerang, and hookshot. No. Alright, stun prize is arrows. Maybe I should stun and kill more guys. It's fine. Oh. Crabs do so much damage. Crabs do so much damage. Yeah, I just realized stunning a guy and then killing him with the bow would still net me arrows. Oh. I see what you did there. They make a shampoo for that. For all the folks watching on YouTube. That's what was said in chat. Okay. Getting hit by that bird didn't do a dang thing because I have the actual flippers, so I'm actually swimming. Alright, let's see what we got going on over here. Heart piece. I will check under the bridge after. I have reasons, but in retrospect I probably should have checked first. Whatever. It is what it is. Bombs. Heart piece. Which does get me another full container. More hearts, always useful. You know what, the fact that we have... Thank you. The fact that we have flippers means that the Zora check is actually not a bad place to go. I can actually get whatever's on the ledge here, and it is 50 bucks, so I'm not going to bother with it. I can run along the top here. Much quicker to run across the grass than it is to run across the shallow water. Which does have basis in actual physics. I don't have money for this. I guess I am going to pick up that 50 bucks, aren't I? Oh my god, I didn't even think to look. Okay, there's our Zora money. You know what, it's not that far to go back. Yeah, you know, I realized I had the flippers, and I was like, I'm just go-moding, I can go to the thing, I can do it. And, you know, a little bit of a problem of I didn't have enough money for the store. It's fine. That's what, like an extra 10 seconds. It's not even extra, because, you know, I needed that. Oh, look. Okay. The heart container, not super useful. Zora definitely felt in logic. We're gonna go back to my house. I just spent all of that money. I have 8 rupees now. Now that we're poor, we're gonna go due Eastern. Stopping along the way for whatever is in Sahasrala's closet. And that should be good for arrows too, I think. I like that I started up the dash, and I actually can't even... I have to stop, because I can't dash through that guy. Alright, Sahasrala. What are you hiding from me back here? Shovel! Shield! Heart piece! One of these things does not start with an S. Where's the green pendant? Misery Mire! Ooh, not required Misery Mire. 2 weeks in a row. Likewise with OBS problems. 2 weeks in a row. No! I want to jump down. Okay. Gotta use the boomerang because the hook shot goes directly forward, and the boomerang can go upstairs. Ow, heart prize pack. Oh, there's our big key. But I still managed to get hit. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I still can't dash through enemies. Okay. That's one item. There are 3 in Eastern Palace. I want you stunned, and I want you stunned. So that's one of 3 items. clear that room there by killing invisible skeletons. The map, we don't necessarily like to see that. Hint tile, bows and blinds hideout. I know that, I have it now. 20 bucks. Okay, I'm now faced with the conundrum of, do I take the 50-50? I am not taking the 50-50, I don't feel lucky tonight. I'm going to check the big key chest. And by that I mean the chest where the big key normally is. Maybe I should have. How did I navigate that room so cleanly? I was just guessing as to where I was. Alright, I could have just gone straight to the boss. Cape has been MVP of this dungeon so far. A lot of good cape usage here. I didn't want to go up. Ah. Okay, we have our first death. Oh, all right. I love that I got cocky. Ugh, and of course those little guys would not have anything useful. Basically, I am fully accustomed to being able to do things with the sword in order to mark my position. And boy, was I not able to do that. Give me that heart. I usually try to avoid deaths. Didn't pan out this time. And I knew the second I had lost place of that Cyclops, I was like, this ain't gonna work out well. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Throw a bomb. Throw another bomb. Where is he? Don't... Okay. I'm trying this again. I didn't want to go up. I just wanted to grab these arrows. Oh my god. I'm screwing it up again. See, there is a torch immediately opposite me. Excuse you? What did I get knocked sideways by? My boomerang clanked off of him. Hello, welcome on in. Why am I facing left? Yes, Raiders, hello. I am your host, Joe. I am playing Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Okay, we got the key. Get me out of this room. Let me out. Okay. So, that's a dark room. I'm still in it. I'm out of it now. That is a dark room. It is terrible. I died in there once already. We are off to a bad start. But it's okay. I do not have a sword. My only weapons are a boomerang, a hookshot, and a bow. Now the bow is a mighty weapon. Oh, full-sized candy. I suppose the kids getting out in your area. You know, I feel as though your area has sprawl. I don't know. Would you describe your area as having sprawl? They're really working to get from place to place. Oh my god. I do not have a whole lot of arrows to waste on, guys. The book! There's an elementary school at the end of the street, but you only have sidewalks on one side. That is legit. Honestly, same out in my place. I went up for sushi earlier, and I'm walking, I gotta get past all these trick-or-treaters. Which, I'm glad they're getting candy. Okay, well, we got the book. Which I guess means we're gonna go to the desert? You know what, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check under the bridge and see what the guy has. Yeah, it's a little bit wild sometimes when, I don't understand. There's, you know, residential areas in this city where they just don't put sidewalks on both sides of the road. I'm like, there's houses on both sides of the road here. And, like, people need to walk places, and in the winter it is terrible. They were all very excited. Once again saw an orderly line of teenagers and aquarium staff says that, like, never happens. True. Bombs. Well, thank you, man under the bridge. Faster to just save and quit. Back to the house. I do have the conundrum now of, do I go into the castle? And I think my answer to that has to be yes. Because... No, I'm not going to go into the castle. I'm going to try to do my best to avoid the castle. So I'm going to check Agina's cave, and then I'll check the Desert Palace and see what's there. I live, of course, in a building. They set up a thing at the front desk for any trick-or-treating kids to go by to, you know, pick up candy. Specifically so that people in the building don't have to worry about going door to door. So there was no door to door at my place. I want to check what's... I'm going to run into a cactus. I'm going to check over here. Heart piece. I don't need to worry about that. No. This is not a clean dash line at all. That's a clean dash line, though. Okay, what does Agina have in his closet? The lamp. Okay, well, lamp would have been very useful in Eastern Palace, let me tell you. God, I went to give my cat Peaches a piece of sashimi earlier. As I just set it on a plate next to her, because I had my plate left over from when I had lunch earlier. And she's just, like, ignoring it. Oh, I still have the shovel. I'll have to go do the dig spot. If I don't find the glove in here, I'll have to go do the dig spot. Anyway, I wound up having to actually put the sashimi on her in order for her to actually eat it. Like, she didn't pay any attention until it was sitting on her paw. I guess that'll work. Oh, Moon Pearl. Now if I had a glove or, like, the hammer, I'd be able to make use of that Moon Pearl. Oh, say a small key. Take that. Piece of heart is with a great fairy? Okay. I've already checked one of those. What am I doing in here? I can't do anything in this room. I don't have the big key. Yes, Peaches likes fish. She just, I guess, didn't want to roll over to get it. She's lazy. Which means she fits in around here. There's our big key. Oh, absolutely. Okay. So we didn't get anything of note from there. We did get the big key from the front room, though, so we'll go check the big chest. If it's our second item... If it's our second item and not the map, then we're in business. Especially if that second item happens to be a glove. If it's not a glove, then we get to leave and we go to the dig spot. It's the map. Okay. Save and quit. Go into the dig spot. The fastest way is from my house. God, I also have to check the castle now. I mean, unless the dig spot just has a glove, then I can go finish Desert Palace. Now, thinking out loud here, because for the folks who came in with the raid, I do not have a properly displaying Twitch chat because I had some issues with last week's stream. Oh, look, a sword. Well, that's extra handy, but doesn't help solve our problem of not being able to clear Desert Palace. It's okay, it just means we're gonna go do the castle. Hyrule Castle is the last thing I can do, but it's also the last thing you should do. Ah! It's a terrible dungeon. But yeah, last week, when I started the race, I realized that there's something had happened to screw up my OBS layouts. The aspect ratio was all thrown off. If you've watched my VOD from last week, you've seen that there's like black bars on the side. It's because for some reason the game wanted to broadcast in like 3:4 aspect ratio. I solved the problem after the race, because like I don't fire up OBS until it's time to go, right? And because my tests were all done offline, I did not realize the Twitch chat was not properly set up. Now I know. Hey guard, give me arrows. Ow. 50 bucks. Okay, we have a little money again. There's that at least. We'll find out what's in Zelda's cell. Some people would do a death warp to get out of here. I, however, have the second tier of armor and a whole lot of hearts, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, like, see, that guy just hit me like twice. Barely did a dang thing. Alright, we're going to save and quit, then we're going to do with the sewers, I guess. Back of escape, here we come. Hello, welcome on in. We are about 30 minutes into the race. I've cleared out Eastern Palace, I cleared out the first half of Desert Palace, and then I do not have a glove, so I was not able to continue. Oh no, I just realized, this is an Agaseed. I have the Moon Pearl, I have the cape, I have a sword, I have the lamp. I can get through that energy barrier, I can go fight that wizard. Oh, I am glad you woke up in time. That sounds like either you're a night worker or in an advanced time zone. $50. I bonked? Third option, you may have been napping. We support naps in this house. Give me that key from that key rat. And then we just walk through the door. Then we're in a room with stuff. Oh, that's fair. Eastern time, you're only an hour off from me. Oh, look, our flute. Okay, well, that's some progress. I can climb Death Mountain now. Maybe this isn't an Agaseed. I didn't want to go to the house. I wanted to go to the friggin' sanctuary. Now, hopefully your leg feels better soon. I know leg stuff is super uncomfortable because you always wind up like... It feels like the sort of thing where, like, I don't know, if your leg is doing bad, then you can't even, like, move around that well, you know? You know what I'm saying. It's like being sick is bad enough, but being, like, stuck in place, it makes it worse. Okay, we have freed the duck. And using the duck, I can go up Death Mountain now. Oh, oof. Yes, that sounds like a... That sounds like a job for urgent care. Dogs, while nice, are not known for having the cleanest mouths. Oh right, I can't run with the old man. He's slow. Old man gives me 20 bucks and a spawn point on the mountain. Zooming. We will check Spectacle Rock. I can't get what's on top of it, but I can get what's inside of it. On top is 10 arrows, so we don't care about that. And... Ice Rod. I might need that. God. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know if I need that. I'm gonna... If Turtle Rock is required, I'll need it, so I'm going to grab it. I don't know if Turtle Rock is required because I haven't been in the Dark World yet. You should probably just go to the ER, but you don't want to get poked every hour. We just here, all we can do is give you antibiotics. That's true. And that is what would happen. But also, that is the response that you want, is to get antibiotics. We're not going to go into the Dark World, because I want to go over here. So, like, I suppose, depending on what's faster, urgent care or the ER. But also, I don't know, depending on what sort of insurance coverage you have, they might cover one more likely than the other. Assuming you even go through insurance. For all I know, you might be in Canada. Ooh, Master Sword. And Bombos. Well, that's interesting. Heart Piece, Quake, $5. Heart Container and 10 arrows. Okay. We have one more cave to check up here. It is Spiral Cave. Gotta do this bomb jump to get across there, and we'll go do it. If I find the hammer, great. I can get to Tower of Hera from here. If I don't find the hammer, then no. Last time you went to the ER, they screwed up your testing. Hang on a second. Money. I don't need that. They screwed up your testing, told you you had MRSA. Like, you have your affairs in order. In case you kick it. Oh man. Yeah, that would be unsettling, and hopefully the person who actually had that, assuming somebody did actually have it, wound up getting the news. Oh, the hammer! Alright, I still don't have Dark World access technically, but I do have Tower of Hera access, so we're gonna go do that. Yeah, God, though. I can't even imagine going into the hospital and them just being like, okay, so you're probably gonna die. And then coming back. So we read the wrong chart. Which, like, I suppose on the one hand, you know, would be... Obviously it's stressful to get the bad news first, but it must have been a bit of a relief to get the oops. Okay, what do we get from the ether tablet? We get Fire Rod. Okay, we officially have both rods now. Well, you know, I'm glad you didn't end up having it. For obvious reasons. Map, I don't need that. Hint tile says, Cave of Samaria is near Misery Mire. Big key. Okay, let's set up our Hera pod. Alright. Yeah, God, I know the last time I went into the ER, they were just like... They wanted to do like a P-test, and it came back clean, and they were like, okay, this is really weird that it came back clean, so we're just going to do a scan instead. 10 bombs. Whoop. So they did like a CAT scan after the P-test came back clean. It was a kidney stone. Or no, not a kidney stone, it was a bladder stone. So the same sort of thing, but in a different place. They wanted to do the pee test because, like, obviously a pee test would show if you've got, you know, blood in your urine, right? I should be using the hammer on this. Yeah, and I had neither of those. So they were like, okay, there's like a 1 in a million chance. God damn it, it's something in the basement. They're like, there's a 1 in a million chance that you have this thing and it's not showing on these usual tests. But it really feels like that's what's going on. So we're going to send you for a scan. So, yeah, it was bad. They gave me like Dilaudid to put me under. And like they gave me the pills. And the pills didn't do shit. Still fully awake and in immense pain despite the pills. Oh no! Okay. Well, that sucks. I actually have to do things now. So they wound up like putting me on an IV drip in order to actually get the stuff into me and working faster. And that worked. That put me under. But let me tell you, that was not a fun process. Okay, what are we going to find in here? Hopefully something that actually gives some progress. Magic powder! Okay. Magic powder is interesting to find. I can take that to Kakariko and check the magic bat. I am not going to be banking on going into to kill Aghanim. I have too much stuff already to think that I need to kill Aghanim. I'm banking on the cape and the lamp and the sword being a red herring. I'm going the wrong way. The first time you passed a kidney stone, they gave you morphine. It knocked you out for a few hours. You were like 15. Oh yeah, no. Stones like that are like... Apparently people who have done both have considered stones to be more painful than childbirth. So, like, obviously I can't compare, but I will say I'm taking their word for it. Bee in a bottle. Okay. Yeah, this one was not going to pass. They needed to actually, like, go in and get it. So that was, you know... It was too big. What had happened was it just got stuck inside. Yeah, like I woke up with the worst pain. $20. Okay. Alright, having found $20, I am forced to conclude that my only actual option is to go and fight Aghanim. Ugh. Let's get some money from this guy. Alright, well, our Dark World access is going to be through the wizard, it turns out. You have the small ones, they never find. Yeah, I can say I, like, only had the big one. Hasn't happened again since. It's been, like, I want to say 3-4 years. Oh god, yeah. Getting stuck, yeah. That sounds rough. Against a nerve that constantly makes you want to pee. Let's do this way. It's like after they like did the procedure to get the stone out of me, it was like they needed to put in like a little plastic tube in order to make sure everything stayed open, because after somebody goes in there, things want to swell shut, and obviously you don't want things swelling shut. And let me tell you, that makes you need to pee. The sad part was that it wasn't like I have to whiz feeling, it was I'm about to piss myself, need to find a bathroom. Yeah! No, that is legit. Like, because when you need to go and you're not near a bathroom, and if it's like hitting the right thing, then it's very much like urgent. I'm on the lamp. Why am I on the lamp? One time you went in with a kidney stone, had a painful feeling in the urethral area, and the doctor looked at me and said, "You don't have nerves there." Excuse me? There is a whole thing that people do specifically because there are nerves there. Absolutely bananas. That guard can stay behind those pots. Also, this bladder stuff is what you're experiencing every day now, so sad face. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I 100% believe. I've heard enough stories about, like, doctors just not taking femme folks seriously that it's just, like, it's bananas. Like, they don't even... A lot of the tests that have been done, like research and whatnot, didn't even take half the population into account. Alright, let's kill a wizard. It's like we all know the signs of, like, stroke and heart attack. But those are actually only the typical signs in, like, men, as I understand? Yeah! God, speaking of common myths and misunderstandings, I had my bubble burst earlier today. I already told Hypna about this. I'm sure we are all familiar with the story of how... Okay, we have these months on the calendar. Okay, we're in the Dark World. Let's go see what our first item is down here. We have all these months on the calendar. Oh look, a fucking glove. Pyramid Ledge glove. So cruel. Okay. September, October, November, December. These months are numbered. In Latin. But it's the thing that so October's the 10th month, you know, September's the 9th month, but like October's named after 8 and September's named after 7, etc., etc. December. Dece is 10. That's why decimal, right? And so the prevailing wisdom that I'd always been told was, what happened was everything got shuffled forward 2 months because of the additions of July and August, and that, like, these 2 months are were added to the calendar, as tribute to Julius and Augustus Caesars. But it turns out, no. This thing that I'd always been told was the case is not the case. It turns out those months existed the whole time. They were just called something else. Quintilius and Sextilius, which keeps up the numbered scheme, 5 and 6. The reason why everything got pushed forward to is not because of those 2 months, it's because of January and February. Apparently the ancient Romans just didn't count winter. Said it's cold, we don't even go out, why would we count this? Months start in March. Why am I pushing that? Hobo's fire sheds no light. So yeah, it wasn't until later when somebody decided, you know what, we should probably add a couple of months at the start of the calendar just to keep things in order, because we have all this time that we're not really keeping track of. That's what screwed everything up. And that is the fun fact of the day. They at least knew that what they should be doing in the winter is just fucking hibernating. That is the natural human inclination. It's cold out, I don't want to go out. I still gotta go out and go to the bus stop and go to work. But also, another fun thing that comes with this realization is that, I'll take that key, March, April, May, June. These months all had names. And then after that, they just started numbering them. So it's like the Romans only half finished the calendar and then said, whatever, okay, after the one named after this god, we'll just it's 5. Whatever. This month is 5, the next one is 6. Just count up to 10 after that. We've named all the first 4. That's the important ones, right? They did not finish the assignment. Oh, but at least with days of the week, they didn't just start going like, alright, we're just going to give these things numbers. Also, I'm still... I know I've heard, like, the explanations for these are, like, where the names come from for the days of the week. But, like, I'm always mildly curious about, like, exactly when these things started to become the names that we use. Because, obviously, if we're... The prevailing trend... Ooh, mirror. Nice. The prevailing trend for Western anything is to just go with what the Romans were doing. And the Romans sure weren't naming anything after Thor. I knew that was going to be a small key. Still, gotta check. Yeah, like, I can see the associations on some of these names, because, you know, Freya and Thor, but then Saturday would be, what, Saturn's Day, which is back to the Romans? It feels mixing, you know, like just a total grab bag. Can I grab the other thing? Probably something from Middle English. I wouldn't be shocked. Like, unless somebody was doing, like, attempting to convert people in, like, the Scandinavian areas and said our best shot of actually pulling this off is to take the names of the days of the week that they have. And I could see that being the thing. 10 arrows. Okay. Mirror. Off we go. And by off we go, I mean we're going to go kill the boss. And the boss will give us our last item. Yes, was this a convenience given to us by people trying to convert the Scandinavians? I could see that being a candidate explanation. Middle English. Somehow that's not shocking. I should have known Geoffrey Chaucer had something to do with this. Nah, Chaucer's cool. We like Chaucer. Paul Bettany got to play him in a movie. God, what a weird movie that was. In Romance languages, it's named after Jupiter. In English, it's named after Thor. And in other languages, they have other names, obviously. Yeah. In what might be a fun twist, French might be the only language that has a god named after a day of the week. Do you know of whom I speak, though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dodge. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright. What do you know about voodoo? That's right, Baron Samday is straight up named, he's Mr. Saturday. Yes, they spoke French in Haiti, probably still do, and as I understand it, it's a syncretic combination of old Yoruba religions and French Catholicism, because they had like the stained glass on the windows, and since they were doing like church services in Latin, the folks didn't understand what was being said, so they sort of like looked at the figures in the stained glass windows, the saints, and said, okay, here, this person translates roughly to this god from our old place. And so they wound up coming up with some funky combos, and one of those guys is Mr. Saturday. We have the hammer, we have the hook shot, we have the flippers. I haven't looked at the map yet. Okay, red crystal. Alright, we're gonna do Swamp Palace. I'm also... Okay, there is a James Bond movie where he fights Baron Samday, sort of. I think, here's the thing, is it's presented as though it is him, but I don't know if it's actually supposed to be him or if it's somebody, like, pretending to be him for, like, you know, the purposes of getting followers. I think it was The Living Daylights. I just remember he sort of comes back at the end of the film, implying that he might actually be, like, immortal. If James Bond can't kill you, you're something weird. Okay, there's 6 items in this dungeon. Let's count them down. Red mail, that's 1. Ooh, black. I turned into an emo kid. Oh my gosh. I say we just name everything in binary using first index. Yeah, this is a good look for Halloween. Alright, we're through. Look, I know all about wild looks in high school. I had what's referred to as Liberty Spikes back in the day. My hair was considerably shorter than it is now. So who knows, maybe I'm still doing wild looks. You know what? We haven't got... I'm gonna skip left side for now. For all I know, it's a map and a compass over there. I don't have the red cane, so I will be doing this way. God, I actually have to do this dungeon proper. There is a way to do Diver Down using bombs. I have never learned it. Be in a bottle. There's our big key. Okay. And hey, look. You know, who here hasn't bought a sword? I've got one. It's in the closet. Okay, fair. Maybe you're more of a ranged combatant. Let's grab this key. Because I already can tell I am going to need... There's 2 items on the left. And one of them is actually an item. If I get the map from this guy... then I'll know that there's 2 items on the left. Also, our weekly appointment to shave an eyeball. Come on. Okay. What I'm gonna need to do, charge it up. Ugh, I missed him. 3 hits, and then the spin. The map. God damn it. Alright, well the good news is, going back in is fine. There's 3 more items in the dungeon. One of them is on the big chest, which I would have needed to go back in for anyway. I'm not about to leave 3 items behind in Swamp Palace. That's literally half the goods. I love that I know Misery Mire is a pendant dungeon, but I don't know what else is. I did not examine that map well. I will have to have a look. I love how his animation after you will make him bald is pulsates in disbelief, I will crush you. Oh, you know, it's the same reaction anybody gets when you yank their toupee. Heart container? Okay. God, no, I actually need to do this room properly. Okay, let's go get that small key. Wait, no, I don't need this small key. Oh, whatever, I'm here anyway. Let's get that small key. Yes, this is the room where Diver Down is super useful. Because I can just sort of use it to get into that room there and set up a bomb to set the thing off for me. No such luck here. God, I got so many Discord notifications. What's going on? I'm in streamer mode, so I'm not getting bloops. I just look down at the system tray, and there they are. Obviously, one is Pepsi because they have the Wordle update, I'm sure. It might be group chats. Is there anything in the group chat? Ow. $20. Alright, not worth it. We'll see if this last item is worth it. $20. Alright, I should have just gone. Okay, our next stop will be Bombo's Tablet. I'm right there. And after that, we'll duck on over to Hype Cave. I suppose I'll find out and report after I'm done the race. Alright, what do you got for me? Bombs. Well, you know what? I can actually finish Desert Palace now, so I will get back to that eventually. In the meantime, I want to see what's in Hype Cave. I'm going to do a reverse Smith chain. I have several other streamers in my, in my servers piles. Maybe somebody started a stream or something. Oh, I'm usually the last one to start. 10 arrows. Sweet. Heart. Titan's Mitt. Very nice. Titan's Mitt is significant and necessary. It means I can actually get the red cane now. Do I need the red cane? I do need the red cane. Okay, Ice Palace. Alright, good news. We're not going to do the reverse Smith chain. I'm going to fly to the desert. I'm going to enter Misery Mire area. I'm going to get that red cane. And then I'm going to go do Skull Woods and then Turtle Rock. That is my plan. That is my order for doing things. We are almost in go mode. I just need that red cane. Red cane! Alright, that's go mode. What do you got? Bombs. Okay. I don't gotta pick up anything else. Although a sword would be nice. That said, I'm probably not going to get another sword. Ah! Shot while pushing block. There was a hint tile earlier that said it was near Misery Mire. So I knew it had to be it had to be in the shed. I don't know that the game is clever enough to realize that Checkerboard Cave is only accessed through Misery Mire. Ah! Sometimes the hint tiles are very useful. Oftentimes, they're trash. Screw it. I'll just do it like this. All the room slides open. Okay. See if I can't silver arrow these guys. Nope. Okay. Alright, there we go. I'll take it. Heart piece. But the worst thing is that I actually looked, and I'm like, oh, I can go get Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, 3 messages from one person, Wordle, and 9 messages in the group chat. Oh, so yeah, I can do Pyramid Fairy, but I have no need to. Excuse me, Mr. Guard. So we're going to go ahead and just do Skull Woods from the back. Because there's no reason not to start with the boss. There's only 2 items in Skull Woods, and I don't need either of them. Don't drop me in that pit, please. God, part of me wonders, so you need the fire rod in order to access the last area. You can get a small key in this. This dungeon is unique in that it has an extra small key that you don't need, and that's it right there. It feels way too convenient for, like, starting from the back runs on this place to just go get that key and go into the back. But in the vanilla game, you can't start from the back. So, like, that's clearly not the intention. Take those magics. I am conserving my magic power somewhat because I do not want to have no magic when... Come on, guys. I do not want to have no magic when dealing with the moth. Oh no, there is another door. It's just a troll. So once you know to not bother with that other door, it's just a bonus key. Like, you use the key to unlock a door, and then there's nothing in there. There's like a pit that drops you, and then you go back to the front. Alright, Moth, here we go. There we go. Alright, a lot of hits on him. What's he give me? The map. I didn't even get the big key. Dear God, I got nothing out of this dungeon. Well, it is what it is. Wait a minute, do I even need to do Turtle Rock? Did I even need that red cane? I think Turtle Rock's one of the dungeons I need. Yeah, Turtle Rock is my last crystal. Alright, we'll go there. Oh, that was common in games this day because they couldn't do DLC or online updates that make you feel like you got value for their money. So they added artificial things like that to pad time. Yeah, I mean, it is... Obviously the term troll room didn't exist back then, but like, my god. Somebody in the like Nintendo development room must have been like giggling to themselves, realizing that players were going to end up in this place and being like, lol. It's just a little room we threw in to screw with them. Also, I realize I might not actually be in Go mode. I don't know what I need to get into Turtle Rock. I have all the pendant medallions. Never mind, I can get into Turtle Rock no matter what it is. Yeah, we're definitely in Go mode. I'm like, wait a minute, the thing I never thought to check before declaring I was in Go mode. It turns out it's fine. It's Ether. It is funny, though, that there is a whole thing with old games where they're just, like, basically fucking with you. 10th enemy has the bomb. Oh, this sounds promising. I can't wait to see it. I should have picked up some potions before I came up here. Also, I don't have a ton of rupees. Is what it is. Yeah, I know there was like a whole thing where like games... God damn it. Games needed to be difficult because they wanted to eat your quarters? And then as they moved to home consoles, they suddenly didn't need to be that difficult anymore. Except they were still, like, made by people who were accustomed to eating your quarters. So they just kept making games hard. Like, a lot of Mega Man games never got a arcade release. Why are they difficult? 10 arrows, small key. Okay, mirror back to the front. I suppose. I don't know. It also... I know that there's a whole thing where, like, some Japanese developers would, like, dumb games down for American audiences, and I get that. Oh god, I don't have a good sword. I'm like, how many hits is this guy gonna take? All of them. Linked earlier, someone was talking about how the Cane of Samaria never stuck as a Zelda item. Ow. Double hit. Because it was introduced late and never integrated well into the game. An indie dev and I argued and said, person argues that person, and LinkedIn got mad at you. Oh, LinkedIn. Sometimes I have to use LinkedIn for my work. Because part of what I do is I make sure people use their professional credentials correctly. It's a weird nitpicky thing, but it's apparently my job. And yeah, you know, I've even said before myself that the Cane of Samaria is not really that well used in the game. God damn it. Oh, look at that. She turns into a Sniffet. You know what? Fire will do this a lot quicker. Give me that key. Yeah, like, realistically, the fact that you get the red cane in Misery Mire, you use it for exactly one thing. In that whole dungeon, you use it for one thing. The dungeon you get it in. just a block that you weigh down in order to open up a door. A single door. And then you get it, and then you just use it for everything in this dungeon. It should have been an item in this dungeon. The back half of this dungeon should have been the front half, and then the red cane section should have come after the big chest, which would have contained the red cane. This is my position on this thing. Dear God, the silver arrows don't do dick to him. I did not expect that. Okay, this is also a dungeon where I'm not comfortable skipping chests. God damn it. Okay. And you know what? Mimic Cave is really quick to check, so I'm gonna do it. I hope it's a sword. I really hope it's a sword. I don't want to do Ganon's Tower and Trinex. Oh, wow. I don't want to do Ganon's Tower and Trinex with Trash Sword. I love that I'm calling the Master Sword Trash Sword. It's bombs. Okay. Mimic Cave's not too fast, not too slow, I say, as I take a little while to get to it. The issue is more about cognitive load, the fact that the cane didn't translate well to 3D. You know, I could see that too. Honestly, like, figuring out... Mushroom. Figuring out how to implement an item that produces a block in a 3D game. Like, we're all familiar with, like, glitches where somebody's holding, like, a crate. And they use it to, like, clip themselves through a wall. I mean, hell, I do it in this game. Like, Icebreaker straight up lets me just clip through a wall. The red cane breaks this one, too. Yeah, putting that in a 3D game, in addition, like, the 4 fireballs feels like it might be... Yeah, that would be weird. It is tricky. And in fact, I feel as though the game actually kind of calls out how weird of an item the Cane of Samaria is. Because when you pick it up, it just says like, hey, this is the Cane of Samaria. It does weird things. Like, that's not verbatim, but that is basically the gist of what the thing says for it. I need to check Laser Bridge. I'm going to set a respawn point down here while I'm doing it. Every other item, it's immediately obvious what the value proposition is. Hookshot, you point, press button, fly to location. Cool as hell. Cane spawns blocks. And the funniest thing is that the cane spawning blocks isn't even, like, the most crucial thing for it. $300. There's our small key. Whoop! The most used function of the red cane is actually making platforms in this dungeon. 10 arrows. Well, goddamn. Like, I make platforms more than I ever make just a block. There's like 2 rooms in the game where you're required to make a block. Alright, you, come here. Give me fairy. That said, it's useful. Ow. Don't get off me. Okay. You know what? This room is screwing with me so bad. Alright. So we don't have a whole lot of extra magic. So I'm going to do this, and then grab the full magic, and also that heart. Oh wow. Yeah, casuals probably use it twice, and then... yeah, speedrunners figure you can kill 4 enemies with it once. Casuals probably use it twice and never touch it again. And yeah, you know? Honestly, if I hadn't seen, like, certain strats with the thing, I wouldn't be using it either. 1, 2... God, what? Okay, and here we have the problem with using the hammer on Trinex. Is I do not have the ability to swap weapons while the head is blowing up. It's fine. Okay. This sucks. Alright. It's fine, it's fine. Try an X with the base Master Sword. I've done worse, I've done it before. I'm sure I could probably be doing this with the hammer. I do not want to, though. Flash has finished. Living true to their name. 3 minutes ago. I wasn't paying attention. I was engrossed in the Trinex fight. Also, my window is open slightly, and the wind is just like, hey, your curtains want to do things. I'm gonna move this drink. Basically. Or at least they're threatening to dance in the wind. Oh, look at that. Small magics. Well, we're not going to get first place. I want to see what's in Super Bunny Cave and what's in Hookshot Cave. They're on the way. If I can find a sword that's like got decent damage output, I will consider that time well spent. Half magic, 10 arrows. You know what? Half magic is also time well spent. The fact that I was looking at Trinex and thinking, am I going to have enough magic to actually kill this guy? Half magic is very useful. Now we just have a few checks here. 10 arrows. Eventually the game's going to be out of 10 arrows to throw at me. Alright, Doritos sword. 50 bucks. And fire shield. You know what? Hookshot Cave was worth it. I take it. A slightly upgraded shield and a much upgraded sword. Plus on top they match my new color scheme. Ow. My Shy Gal is 100% rocking Wolfpack colors. And I am having a drink of water. God, I love that, like, my frame of reference for when I see somebody wearing red and black is just to reference a wrestling storyline from the 90s. I do not expect anybody in chat to know what I mean by rocking Wolfpack colors. But rest assured, if you were watching WCW back in 1996, you knew what I was talking about. At least expect it not to be perceived or understood. Yeah, yeah. And you know me, I love to make a reference like that. Oh look, blue cane. That's the last item. Other than, like, spare bottles. Inventory's full, basically. I'm like, how many times have I said things that just utterly confused Grem? Sometimes it is intentional. Here's a location where you might use the red cane for its block purposes. But you could also do it with a well-placed bomb. Or a trick shot with the boomerang. I'm not good at the boomerang trick shot, so I don't do it. $300. You know, it's funny, I have, like, numbers of how many chests are in dungeons, and I never bothered putting on Ganon's Tower because, like, it's not something... By the time you're in here, you're expected to have everything. Everything you need, at least. Oh, damn, where's this big key? Oh yeah, no, depression does that shit. The brain is a wild thing, and sometimes it just says, you know what, we don't need to hang on to all that. I guess it's a defense mechanism. Good news, I have silver arrows, so I can tear through these guys like Kleenex at a snot party, as they say. Yes, neuroplasticity. What a great term. It's a Simpsons reference. When Sideshow Bob... oh, Taco also finished. When Sideshow Bob snuck onto a US military base and stole an atomic bomb, he was imitating a general who said that he was going to tear a hole in somebody like a Kleenex at a snot party. And Bob tried to, like... He was imitating the guy's mannerisms after the fact to gain access to a warehouse. And he said the line, but he couldn't say it with a straight face. Because it is just such a vulgar thing. And the fact that it's so bizarre and vulgar, I kind of love it for that. I'm going to hold this wall. My magic shall not deplete while I grip the wall. Unfortunately, I will have to dodge that thing, the bunny beam, when I get there. Okay. Oh, apparently stacked up against everybody else, I performed the worst on yesterday's Wordle. Which makes sense. It was a tricky word. Alright, bunny me. Oh my god! Okay. Big key there. It was... God, what was it yesterday? I don't even remember anymore. Lathe was fun, though. I do have a friend who his screen name that he's been using since like 2003 is Unemployed Lathe Operator. So like lathe has always been just a word in the back of my head. So when that came up on Wordle, I'm like, oh yeah, that is solid. Some people I know have managed to come up with decent as hell screen names. He just happens to be the one who actually managed to be a decent person in addition. Okay, grenades and ham is clever. I do like that. Ow. Alright, we're dashing. And then we're powdering this thing. We're getting the silver arrows ready. You guys are not supposed to both pop out at like the same time. What the heck? Short hop. There we go. Okay, dungeon complete. Well, room complete. Off we go. Hey, what's this? Oh, high school. Well, I'm not gonna say any better. Like, I obviously, you know, high school in the... I screwed that room up. Okay. Nobody's mature in high school. It is famously the point at which you are most, like... Yeah, we're mature in PvP. Yeah. I want to say high school is like a PvP-enabled zone. Everybody constantly checking each other. And, like, for no reason. Like, you just happen to be at that point in your life where, like, everything is suddenly being weird. Mirror shield. You know, the old standby, you may have noticed that your body's going through some changes. Hit with one spin. Alright, he's dead. I did not change items. Hello, Nova. Welcome on in. Although I assume you've been here for a little while. Oh, Butter Sword. I'm glad I checked that. Oh, look, high school antics, they are weird. Oh damn, more messages. I have my phone open so I can see that there's things coming in. One hit. Come on, Aga, play nice. Still just one hit. 2 hits. He's not cooperating at all. 3 hits. Work with me here, man. I'm trying to kill you. Alright. I think that's 5. Which means I think I just need 1 more. Yep, got him. Okay. Do people call him Agatha? You know what? They should. Although, it wasn't Agatha all along. It was Ganon all along. Pig comes out. I know Saku loves to say that she swags on him when she uses the bug net to bounce his shots back at him. It's too slow for me. Like other pulmonate land gastropods, land slugs have... yeah, okay. Alright, we are officially out of Phase 1. See if we're in Phase 2 yet. We are in phase 3. Okay, so he is stomping already. He recognizes silver as his one true weakness. Alright, that is Ganon defeated. That was a pretty clean Ganon fight. When I focus in on him, I can do it. Alright, and I am hitting the done button for 3rd place. Hour and 41 minutes. That ain't bad at all. Which means there's still one more person running. It is Steve. You know what? I'm confident. This seed was not too confusing. I'll take 3rd place. 2nd last in this particular race. But you know what? As I always say, the important thing is we have fun playing. Saltation's Homecoming. I do love that one thing that the Randomizer folks do, where they just, like, make up a different name for Sahasrahla every time. That's fun. Uncle likes cash. So I was only... God. I was only 10 minutes behind Taco, and only 20 minutes behind Flash. God, and you know what? The fact that Buttersword was in Ganon's tower means that I stumbled upon the only swords I could have gotten outside. I'm so glad that I checked Hookshot Cave. Dancing Pickles. It's just money on the pedestal. That is a little while in race time. It is fun a lot of the times. People will just sort of cross like finish line like within. If we have like a big seed with like 9 people racing, there have been instances where like 9 out of the 10 racers like will all cross the finish line within 10 minutes of each other, and that's always fun. But also, it's not uncommon for there to be an outlier on the front and the back. Who made my sprite? Let's find out. Should come up after this. Fedora. Oh no. Do you think he works for tips? Okay. I assume Saku's gonna run this race async later or something. First sword found in half an hour. That was painful. Flute in half an hour. Mirror in 50 minutes. 1 boss killed swordless. That would have been Armus Knights. Master Sword, 7 boss kills, and then 2 with the gold sword. That would have been Aghanim and Ganon. 750 damage taken, 1,000 magic used, 37 bonks, 10 save and quits, 1 death. Oopsie-daisy, I did manage to die. Almost 3 minutes spent in menus and 6.5 spent lagging. 152 out of 216 items collected. Total time, according to the game, of 1 hour 39:51. I know that's not accurate. Because as the thing said, we spent time lagging. Game doesn't have to compensate for that. Oh, but alright, that is... that's the end of the race, I suppose. So that is where we say goodnight to YouTube. YouTube, good night. This is coming out on Monday. On Wednesday, we're back to our regular schedule. It should be Fallout. So come on back for more of that. But yeah. Good night, YouTube.